Well, I've been telling Chris Dudley since the summer that I've wanted to come to Oregon, and now I know why. I tell you, I feel the excitement. I feel the energy. We felt it when we got off the plane last night. And I am here today because I'm from New Jersey, and we're a blue state. We got 700,000 more Democrats than Republicans. We hadn't elected a statewide candidate in New Jersey since 1997. We haven't elected a Republican United States Senator since 1972. My opponent in last year's race, the incumbent governor, spent over $30 million of his own money and outspent me 3-1. And everybody in that last weekend was saying to me, you know, Chris, good race, you're close, you tried hard. And you know, here in Oregon, we have a similar history. And so the reason I got on that airplane with Haley Barbour and I came all the way out here to Oregon was to let you see a living, breathing example of what you're going to see on November 3rd. And we in the Christie family, we feel so strongly about this that we're doubling down. We didn't just send me, we sent my daughter Sarah here as well. Her mother sent her on this trip with me because I tell her how hard I'll work, and she says, Sarah, come back and tell Mom the truth. She said, your father and Haley Barbour for a few days, I don't know. So Sarah's been keeping an eye on Governor Barbour and I over the last couple of days, and we're keeping an eye on you. Because here's what it's all about now. Governor Barbour said it's 72 hours to go. And I want to tell you that all the cynics, all the people in your life and around your life who say to you, you know, why are you involved in this? Every politician's the same. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You've heard those people in your life tell you that. Well, let me tell you something. I know from firsthand experience that who you vote for matters, leadership matters, and Chris Dudley is going to change Oregon. I've talked to Chris a number of times since the summer because I want to give him, I know he's going to win, and I want to give him a preview of what he's in store for. Because, you know, these characters, after we win, they still don't want to believe it. And then you head to the state capitol and they think, well, everybody who heads to the state capitol drinks the same water, and they all become one of us. And so when we get elected on a mandate, like I got elected on last year in New Jersey, and like Chris will get elected on in 3 days, you don't change. So in New Jersey, my predecessor, he told me during the transition, don't worry, Governor-elect, you have a $500 million surplus. You ride the rest of this fiscal year home, everything is fine. Well, of course, 2 days after I got there, we looked at the books, and we had a $2.2 billion deficit for the 5 months left in the fiscal year, 5 months. In the legislature, they were wringing their hands. They're like, oh, this is great. This is great. We're going to make this guy raise taxes in the first few weeks to clean up a mess that we created and lied to him about. This is perfect. This is the example of the cynical politics of our opponents. And so I said, okay, I could do that. I could negotiate with you, and you could get me to raise taxes. That's what you think I'm going to do. But see, what I did instead was I just said, I'm going to impound $2.2 billion of spending from all these programs you like by executive order. And I went down to the legislature, asked them for a speech before the joint session, and I said to them, it's going to be a very short speech. You created this problem. It's $2.2 billion. You want me to raise taxes? I won't. I just impounded $2.2 billion by executive order. I fixed the problem you created. Have a nice day. They were dizzy. They were dizzy and the press came down to the floor afterwards and they said, this is illegal, he can't do, what did he just do? We've never seen anything like this before. And they started calling me names. They called me Julius Caesar and Napoleon Bonaparte, all those great leaders of the past that I admire. So the next morning, I saw the Senate president on the way in. We walked in the same door, Chris, and I said to him, Steve, I saw all those horrible things you said about me in the paper this morning, and you know what? You've convinced me. I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to vacate that executive order, and I'm going to make you guys fix this $2.2 billion problem. He said, oh, hey, Governor, don't be too rash. We actually think you did okay. Don't react. And then we had an $11 billion deficit on this year's budget, on a $29 billion budget. An $11 billion deficit. The largest deficit by percentage of any state in America. And now the Democrats said for sure he's going to have to raise taxes. There is no way he can cut $11 billion of spending, so they sent me that tax increase. And the Senate president, he walked it right down himself. And you know, my mom, I'm sure like yours, taught you to be polite. So when you have guests come and you come outside, you greet them. So I was there waiting for him, and he handed that bill over to me. You know, it's called something like the New Jersey Fairness and Justice Act. Because they never call it a tax increase. Oh, it's the New Jersey Fairness and Justice Act. Yeah. So I took the bill and I said, Steve, please sit down for a minute. This isn't going to take long. And I took out this pen and I vetoed it and I handed it back to him and said, take this back where it came from. Yeah.